Hi, Dharma Circle. Swati here, the embodied Dharma coach. Let's talk about one of my favorite topics, which is creating more prosperity and wealth using Vedic astrology, improving your business results, growing wealth using the wisdom of Vedic astrology. Yes, Jyotish, this ancient sacred Vedic tool, is such an asset, such a resource for creating more prosperity in your life, in your business. And today we're going to talk about how and things to look for in your Jyotish chart so that you can start creating more prosperity today, looking at your Jyotish chart and using this ancient wisdom. So, when life is going smooth and when you're in harmony with nature's cycles and rhythms, life is smooth. And you've experienced this. There's more ease and gentleness and flow, abundance, resiliency. Life feels good on every level. When you're out of sync with nature's cycles and rhythms, that abundance and that nourishment, it dries up. It's not as easy to receive, and life feels challenging. Your survival patterns might start to show up, and you notice that, wow, the body's contracting. So flow and abundance and being in harmony with nature's cycles and rhythms allows the body to expand, open, channels of receiving are open, and the body actually receives that nourishment. When the body is contracting and when it's low tide, there is not a lot of abundance or nourishment available for whatever reason. There is contraction in the body, and that's when survival, strain, fear, doubt, worry, that's this contraction in the body. And the channels of receiving contract as well. And just like nature has cycles and rhythms, right? There's a waxing cycle, there's a waning cycle. The tide rolls in, the tide rolls out. Summer, winter, right? Nature has these ebbs and flows, high tide, low tide. Waxing cycle, waning cycle. And Jyotish can help us understand the cycles we're in, the cycles ahead, so we can actually create more alignment and syncing up with nature's cycles and rhythms. How can we best support the prosperity in a low tide moment? How do we know when the cycle is more of a contraction or a low tide cycle? And at the same time, if you're in a high tide cycle, you better know about that. You're going to need to make hay while the sun shines. Unfortunately, most people don't even know what kind of cycle they're in, and they're just hoping for the best. The thing about Jyotish is that you can use it to maximize the abundance and the flow. If you are in a high tide moment, you need to know about that so that you can maximize it. I think of it like having rain barrels. When it's raining, I want to catch that water because sure enough, in the coming weeks, we're not going to have any rain. And I'm going to need that rain in my rain barrels. And just like that, we're using Jyotish to understand, wow, this is a rainy week, so I better catch my water right now. Or maybe you're in a it's not raining at all kind of cycle. And how do we keep growing and creating nourishment even when nature is not showering us with her abundance? And the key is actually the body. Because in fact, nature is always abundant, but for whatever reason, your body might not be in a place of receiving. And that's really what it comes down to, is understanding what's going on in the body and why might the body be in a contraction phase, a low tide phase. And that's what your Jyotish chart is going to tell you. Remember that money, and this is a Vedic perspective, money is an expression of life force energy. It's just another way of saying life force energy. The abundance of life and life-giving properties that nature provides, resources that nature provides, we see this through Venus. Venus is literally Shakti, life force energy. So when you're looking at your Jyotish chart, you want to understand, what's my relationship with nature? And that's the whole chart. And your body, literally the Jyotish chart is a map of your body. And then we look at Venus to understand, what is this body's natal relationship with life force energy, Venus. And Venus represents all things life force. That includes relationships and your health and vitality as well. And in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing a series. This is actually part 1 of the series on Venus and creating more abundance in life through Jyotish. First with your wealth and your money, that's what we're talking about today. And then health, vitality, life force energy that supports health, and also relationships, love, harmony, and connection. That is also Venus. So we need to understand your relationship with Venus first and foremost. This is money, beauty, abundance, nourishment, love, harmony, relationships, the feminine, your creativity, sweetness, sugar, water. This is Venus. So some people have a natural high tide natally. Some people have a natural low tide natally. For example, if you have a debilitated Venus in your chart, you are constantly at a low tide, and we need to take accountability for that. There needs to be right relation with this low tide life force energy. Otherwise, you will absolutely destroy your chances of receiving. And this means that you don't have extra life force energy to waste. And there are those people with the exalted Venus. And these people have so much life force energy, they often don't even know how to use it properly. And they fritter it away unnecessarily, and it gets them into a lot of trouble. Then we have the people that have more balance. Some people have Venuses that are in conflict or challenge. We need to know what's going on with your Venus natally and in your body so that we can build a better relationship with it. We also need to understand your natal moon. Your natal moon is your mother and your mother's lineage, as well as all the females in your lineage. This is how nourishment has been passed through the body, ancestral body, intergenerational nourishment, and how you received it in this body karmically. What's your relationship with nourishment as a whole? There's no life without nourishment. Mother was your first experience with nourishment. Moon is so vital for understanding, do I receive nourishment well? Do I feel nourished in my body? There's plenty of nourishment, but if mother was not able to support you in this receiving, you will experience very little life force energy, nourishment, and abundance in life simply because those channels have not been awakened. It's not that there's not enough. There's plenty of nourishment and abundance everywhere. Every night the moon rises, and every month we have a full moon. There's plenty of soma available, but can the body receive it? That set point of receiving was actually established by your mother and her lineage. So we have to understand the relationship with moon. We also need to understand Mercury. Mercury is Mr. Prosperity, especially if you have a business. He helps us create prosperity in the marketplace. He rules finances, money, the mental body. So he's mind, and he is responsible for strengthening our business skills. If you have a strong Mercury in your chart, then you are going to naturally acquire business savvy. If you have a weak Venus in your chart, you're going to need to strengthen your relationship with the marketplace, with Mercury, mind, creativity, and money management skills. That's Mercury. So we need to understand our relationship with Mercury. Very important for your business prosperity. Now, here are the 5 steps that I use to strengthen the body, business, money, prosperity dynamic. And you need all 5 of these steps. This is part of my embodied Jyotish approach. It's also part of my wealth training. By the way, wealth training promotion has already ended, but if you want this information, if you want to strengthen your relationship with money and Jyotish and Venus and business and have business skills and use the wisdom of Jyotish to increase your prosperity, that's what we do in wealth training. So comment wealthy below and I'll send you the details. I'll still give you our promo if bonuses and special pricing if you comment today. So comment wealthy below for wealth training details. Now, these are the 5 steps that I use to deepen your relationship with body, prosperity, increase your relationship with your money and business as well. So it's all of this. It's body, it's Jyotish, it's real-time business skills and money management skills. It's all of it. It's the practical and the spiritual. So step 1 is we study your natal chart. This is the map of your body. This is the map of your life force energy, how life force moves through your body, what you're receiving, where you're blocking it, challenges, resources, ancestral challenges and resources, and how all of this imprints you. So first is understanding the natal chart and your relationship with wealth, nourishment, resources, vulnerabilities, weaknesses, like that. Step 2, we're going to track the current transits, especially of Venus and Moon and Mercury, to understand what's happening right now. Remember, Jyotish is astronomically correct. This is astronomical accuracy. What is exactly happening in the sky? No, Western astrology tropical does not do that for you. So please be mindful that if you're working with Western astrology, it is not astronomically correct. You're getting inaccurate information. So we have to have accurate information for an accurate understanding of what's going on. And this is in your body as well as in nature. So step 2 is understanding exactly what's happening with the transits and how that's impacting your body, your natal chart. Step 3 is awakening more embodied intelligence through the current dasha cycle that you're in. A dasha cycle is a planetary cycle. We all run them in different ways at different times. Depends on where you picked up in this lifetime, what dasha cycle you started this life with, where you left off in a past life, where you step right into this life. And that dasha cycle is very important for determining your mental emotional orientation, how you feel in your body and your life. We need to understand at least 3 levels of your dasha cycles. Dasha, Mahadash, Antar, and Antar Dasha. 3 levels will support a greater understanding of body and what your ability is to receive in your body. Now, step 4 is about the practical. So we need to improve your prosperity by increasing your revenue. Quite literally, you need to make more money. And so we need to open more channels of receiving and be really thoughtful and very clear and intelligent in the marketing practices that you're using for your business, refining your business skills as well, and your sales skills and your marketing and your content, and how do you get your message out there. That's a very practical business skill that you must have to increase your prosperity. And then the last step has to do with becoming an impeccable money manager. You could have all kinds of money flowing towards you, but if you don't know how to manage it, if you aren't in right relation with it, then it's just going to keep going away. And money likes to be told what to do. And I think of money management like dinacharya, having a dinacharya with your money, being in right relation with your money, the tending to your money, the cycles, the rhythms, the relationship, increasing savings, investments, and really promoting prevention and long-term safety and nourishment. This is a vital skill in order to tend to your money properly. So we start with Jyotish. Jyotish, it's such an incredible resource for your dharmic path, and also cycles, rhythms, embodiment. So we start everything with this foundation. And we also are using Jyotish to understand the moon cycles and the phases of the transits that you're in, what's influencing you and your body. High tide is around the full moon every month. That is a time when you need to prepare. You need to prepare for high tide. Every month it happens. Low tide is new moon, around the new moon. Not much is going to move around your business and money at that time. So you need to prepare for that. And certainly if you're doing a promo cycle or you're wanting to gather more clients, you need to prepare for that. It's not going to happen around the new moon. That's really creativity, planting seeds, going within, and preparing for the next high tide cycle. So you need to be timing your business steps with the moon cycles, and also understanding the nakshatra that the high tide and low tide, full moon, new moon will be in, and what's being supported in the cycle ahead, so that you can maximize that nature support. It's also what's happening with the transits in your own natal chart. Anything that's dipping into the 8th house, that's a low tide moment. Especially the most low tide moment of the year for you is going to be when Sun dips into your 8th house. If you have Sun in the 8th house, don't expect anything to move. Your Sun is hidden. It's in a hole in the ground. No one can see it. That is your time to go inward and do deep transformational work and prepare for Sun moving into your 9th house. If you have a natal Sun in the 8th house, just know that you have to work with this hiding of your light for your entire life. Same with Sun in the 12th house. Sun's Marana in the 12th house. Sun doesn't like being hidden in the 12th house. You have to know how to work with that hidden light. That power source is hiding in the 12th house. And the way that you're going to maximize its potential and prosperity is through the spiritual. And so there are ways to remedy and work with and be in right relation with these qualities, but we really need to know how to do that properly and to be in right relation or harmony with the quality of that planet and how it's expressing itself. Again, anything that goes into the 8th house, whether it's Sun or Mercury or Venus or Moon, these are moments where you're hiding. The energy is hiding. The tone of the body is I'm in rest mode. And whatever planet that is in the 8th house, you need to understand that that planet and what it represents, that is the part of you that is in rest phase. And it's not necessarily going to help you make money, although the 8th house mirrors the 2nd house of wealth. So often the transformation we're going through in the 8th house is absolutely supporting speech and voice and money and nourishment, but we really need to understand the transformation that's taking place. There is one exception, if Mercury is in its own sign in the 8th house, that's for all of you Scorpio ascendants, people like to give you money. Whenever Mercury is in his own sign and in the 8th house, the tendency is to be handed money. People like to give you money, and it's a great quality. We want to look for these tendencies in the chart and then maximize them, especially via transit, because most of these transits, most of the planets have a 1-month cycle through each sign. And like Venus, Mercury, Moon is literally every 2.5 days. You need to know, hey, Moon is exalted for 2 days and I need to make some hay while the sun shines. I'm going to plan something special right now. Or, wow, 1 month of the year, Venus is exalted. Do you know how to work with that? And do you know how to prepare for that? When sun goes into your 9th, 10th, 11th, 2nd houses, game on, sun is shining, 1st house as well. We need to know how to work with that. And those are times to plan, maybe a big promotion or some sort of, reaching out to people, communicating more, being more visible. Remember, it's your visibility and your self-expression that makes money. So if you're hiding in the 8th house, then making money is very difficult. We need your visibility. We need you to be seen, heard, acknowledged. You need self-expression. And then, of course, very clear, clean channels of receiving, really clear, pristine marketing and content and all of these communication skills, Mercury, that supports an improving of these channels of receiving. There's a lot of skillfulness that comes with this. And you need to know how to work with both the Jyotish, the cycles, and the rhythms, as well as the very practical business skills required for increasing prosperity. It's both. The problem is that today in this world, most people are not using Jyotish with a dharmic approach to business. And then we have all these business people that don't even know what the heck Jyotish is. So no one's really maximizing their results and their prosperity with both. And this is where things really get juicy and amazing, when you're able to integrate this ancient cosmic intelligence with very practical real-time business skills. That's when things really start to increase and prosperity becomes easier. Again, that's what we do in wealth training. So comment wealthy below if you want these skills. So low tide and high tide is the bare basics that you need to understand, and also transits as well as what's happening natally in your chart. We need those very practical business skills. 2 things that every businesswoman must do to radically improve her relationship with money. First and foremost, your body wisdom. Because you have to realize that everything that's happening with the moon cycles and the transits is impacting your body. And if the body's saying no, I don't care how amazing your business strategies are, if the body says no, you're not receiving, you're not expanding, you're not growing, your business is not going to prosper. So first and foremost, intelligence with body, embodiment, resourcing from body and understanding the relationship between the cosmos and the body. Even things like your moon cycles, your hormone cycles. If you are still bleeding as a woman, then, right before your period, the intensity of wanting to buy things and create comfort in your life, that's something you need to know about, because you may not be working with your budget. You may be overspending in those cycles, and you need to prepare for that. And if you're menopause or, pre-menopause, it doesn't matter. The cycles and the rhythms of the moon still impact you. But watch for those cycles, because especially around low tide, when the moon is waning, when your energy is waning, the tendency is to overspend. So be mindful of staying on your budget, staying in right relationship with your money, and understanding that hormones, moon cycles, the transits, they impact how you spend. Remember that 8th house we talked about? Things that go into the 8th house tend to create debt. Now, not all debt is bad or is going to linger for years and years, but to understand that when some planet dips into the 8th house, you better be prepared for some spending. Money's going to go out. It's not necessarily going to come in. So prepare for that. So the first thing, remember, you need to do is body first. Intelligence of your body, your business, your prosperity, all of it is rooted in your body intelligence, your relationship with your body. The second thing is very practical business skills and money skills. You need to become a good money manager. This is a skill that every woman needs. You need to know how to build a budget, stay to your budget, build revenue, increase your savings, and start investing. Wealth comes through investment. Wealth does not come through working year after year and using your body over and over again. And yes, we all want to share our gifts and our wisdom and create money doing that. But for long-term wealth, you're going to need to learn how to invest. And this is also, remember, all about transforming your ancestral relationship with life force energy, prosperity, wealth, and money. When I say money, I mean life force energy. This is your health, your relationships, and your money. We're going to do a 3-part series here on prosperity and health, vitality, as well as relationships. It's all about Venus and understanding how to improve life force energy. And your ancestral story, your ancestral imprint is what has epigenetically created the patterns. So if you are committed to creating more prosperity and wellness and abundance and life force in your life, this is a transformation of these imprints that your ancestors have given you. And let's be honest, most of our ancestors have been in survival mode for generation after generation. And you're going to have to do a lot of work to change these patterns and create new pathways. Jyotish can help you with that. Embodiment can support you with that. And of course, real-time business and money management skills. That's what it takes. If you want these skills and you are ready for fabulous prosperity and growing your prosperity in your dharmic business and using the wisdom of Jyotish, very practical Vedic knowledge, as well as practical business tools and skills. By the way, this is your secret weapon for this modern disembodied time that we are in. These skills will give you an edge that no one else has. Absolutely. And if you want these skills, join me in wealth training. Dharma Wealth Training is where I teach all of this to you. And my promo has already ended, but I want to give you one last chance to join us. The price has increased by $1,000. My extra bonuses, including a private Jyotish session with me, that has already ended. I won't be doing any more promotions until 2024 for wealth training. So this is your last chance to join us. And if you know you need these skills and these tools, jump into wealth training. I'll still offer you our promo price and bonuses if you jump in today. So comment wealthy below. I'll follow up with you and I'll share all the wealth training details with you. All right, everyone. Happy prosperity to you. I hope this was helpful to you. I'll see you in wealth training. Bye.